Welcome to the course on R programming. In this session, we are going to discuss about the two important data structures. One is list, another one is data frame. First, we'll see what is a list, its definition. So come to the list. It's a collection of heterogeneous elements which includes other R objects. Here the notable word is heterogeneous, because we have a different R data structures. Those are vectors, lists, arrays, matrices, and data frames. In this, vectors are homogeneous. In the sense, vectors can contain or can hold similar data types. But when we wanted to put different data types together into a single structure, we require another data structure that is called the list. That it's a collection of heterogeneous elements, and list is having a capacity to hold different other objects. These are all. It can hold a vector, it can hold a list itself, it can hold an array, a matrix, a data frame. Like this, a list is a versatile data structure which can able to hold a different data types. This is going to be an useful data structure for data analysis. We'll see the example. So here is an example. How to create a list? To create a list, we have a function called the list. And to this function list, I have to pass the different R objects. So here, as a first argument, I have passed one number 143, and this is another object name, and this is another object with floating point value salary, and this is something another logical value. So here I have kept one double type and a character type and a logical type. Three different types I have kept it in a single structure with the help of this list function, and I have stored it into list 1. So when we see the output, you are going to see the output in this manner. We have to take a look on this output. If you observe, the first object is 143, and that is represented here, and second object and third object and fourth object. You have to understand this like each and every element is considered as a separate list element. There one double type we have given, that is considered as first list item, and that first list item is represented with double brackets. This is an important point. The list items are represented in double brackets, and this you need not to consider in a big way. This is a normal row index. you have to consider these things. What these things says? They says that when this is the first list item, and this is second list item. In this manner it is going to observe. We'll see further examples how this can be going to be a complex thing. See this. Here what we have done, with the numbers we have given the names also. So here I have given age equal to 42 and marital status is true, kids equal to 2, height 5.7, weight is 66 kgs. So here this is a logical value, a logical data type, and this is a numerical one. This is numerical, and this is a string type or character type. We have kept all these into a single structure. We named it as list 2. If you see the output, you are going to see it in a different manner. Previously, at this position, we got this one. That is list item 1. Now we have given a name to that item. So this is replaced with the name age. And next is marital status and kids, height, weight. These are all the column names. These are all the column names. So while creating a list, if we pass the column names, it is going to represent the list items with the column names or list item names. If we do not pass any names to the items, then the list itself gives us predefined item numbers, and with that item numbers it is going to represent, and that item number is generally represented with double brackets in this format. We'll see another example. To create a list with multiple OR objects, we are creating different OR objects. One is a vector with numerical values, another one is a vector with character values, and a list itself. Another is a list itself. These are the three different objects. One is a vector with numerical values, and another is a vector with the character values, another is a list itself. These three items we are going to put it into a single list, and we are going to call it as list 3. See this. If you observe this, this is the list function, and we have passed this vector 1, this vector 2, and this list itself we have passed, and we asked the R to prepare a list with all these items, and it is going to do. Let us see how it is going to do, and the output is going to be in this manner. So as I told you, our first item was a vector, a numerical vector, and these are the values, and this is represented with double brackets 1, a first list item. And the second list item was a character vector, that's represented with 2 and all values of that vector represented. And the third one was a list itself. This entire was a list. That list already comprises the items. How many items? 4 items. One was the 143 is the employee ID, and another one is the name of the employee and the salary and his marital status. These were the nested list items. So if you observe, at every list item it is represented in, first it is represented in 3. So this is my third item, and third item is a list, so it is this box. This is my third item. In this third item we have again 4 items, 4 list items, and how they are going to be represented. So in third, a first item was 143, and in third list, third item, the second item was a name, Praveen Kumar, and in 3, the third item was salary 25,000.5, and the third thing, the fourth value is true. This is how it has represented, and you just don't worry about these ones. These are all just for row purpose it has given. You just neglect these things. Don't worry about these things. You have to concentrate on why this 3 has given and why this 3 of 1 it has given. This 3 belongs to the outer list, and this 3 belongs to the inner list. And in this 3, this is the first item, second item, third item and fourth item. This is how it is showing. This is how we can nest a list in another list, outer list and inner list. This is a tricky thing which we have to understand while creating the list, because we can pass a list to another list, or by nesting a list we can create. But when we wanted to access that one, we have to know how the indexing is going to work. Okay. So now, how to access the elements from the list? And we know that indexing is the concept, and using that indexing concept we are going to access the data, and how this works in lists we have to see. So this is a command we have used. In previous slide we have seen list 3, and what was the first item? It was the employee ID 143, and to access that one we are using this indexing one. So the output you are going to see is in list 3 the first item was a vector. Okay. So that first vector we have got as in this manner. So here what we have done, we have our list 3, and this has 3 items. One is vector 1 with numerical values, and vector 2 and a list 1. These were the 3 items present and I am accessing this first one, so that index is going to be 1, and this index is going to be 2, and this list index is going to be 3. So here I have used index 1, and the output I got is in this manner. And if you observe, while it is giving us this double brackets 1. double bracket 1 in the sense it is saying that one, this is the list item 1 of list 3. So this is not independent one, this is still under the list 3 only, and that list 3's first item it is. You will see further. See this. The difference between this command and this command you have to observe. The difference is here I have used only single brackets and here I have used double brackets. Here I am accessing the list item and here we are accessing that list item independently. We are grabbing it out from that list. Here it has not come out of that list because it is under this double bracket 1, this value. In the sense this is the list item 1 under list 3. But when I access this double bracket 1, there is no indexing here. If you observe, there is no double bracket 1. In the sense this is an independent vector which is present in that list 3, and that is out of that list we have grabbed and we are storing it into another variable. If we use some x here, this value, this vector is going to be stored here as an independent vector. Whereas here if you do this one, this is not going to be an independent vector, it's going to be an item of list 3 only. This is the difference between this double bracket and the single bracket. This is the notable point. When I use this double brackets, the item is going to be out of the list and it is not shown as a list item. Whereas if I use the single brackets, it's going to be shown as a list item. What is the difference? In the sense, we cannot perform operations on this data, but when we access in this manner, we can perform the operations on this data. This is only accessing as a list item. You can view the things. If you want to perform any operations on the data, you have to extract it as a vector. To do that one, we are going to use this double brackets. Let us see this command output. Here what happened? I said that one list 3 of double bracket 1. I said double bracket 1. So my first item was a vector. Okay. And I said that one double bracket 1. In the sense that vector came out of that list. Now it's an independent vector. And an independent vector can be indexed with its index value, and that index we have to give beside to this one that I have given here as 2. So in this vector, this one is going to give me this one. When I use this double bracket 1, it is going to give me this one, and this has a index values of this way. This is the index value of 1, and it is 2, and it is 3, and it is 4. These are the index values of that vector. So what we have asked, we have said that one double bracket 1 and 2. Double bracket 1 and 2. So in double bracket 1 it has given this one, and for this 2 it is giving me this value 79.6, and because of that we got the output as this one 79.6. So this is how, with the help of the indexing with double brackets, we are going to access the data, the elements of different OR objects. Now we'll see how to add a new element into a list and how to delete an element from the list. So first, adding a new element to an existing list. Okay. So a list is nothing but a combination of different data objects. For example, the list 3 was with vector 1 and vector 2 and a list. And what were the indexings? The indexing is 1, 2 and 3. And if I want to add a new element, obviously I need to add yet the 4th indexing. So to add a new element, I have to use the index value. And here in our example, we have taken 6th position and we have added a new element over there. In the sense, we have, okay, so 4th, 5th place and 5th place and 4th place, we have some other values, okay, we wanted to add this one into 6th place. So by this way, by giving the index value, I can able to add a new element. If you use either this index or this index, like 1 and 2, 1 or 2, the old element is going to be replaced with the new element. So when you are using the indexing, you need to be aware that whether that index is already empty or not, otherwise you are going to lose the data. To delete the element, very simple or straightforward. Which element you want to delete? If you know the index value, just use that index, and in that place you use a special character called the null. We call it as a special character. Special character. Null. Because of that only this is capital NULL. It's a special character. If you use this null, so that element is going to be deleted and the list length is going to be reduced by 1. So this is the way we are going to add an element and delete an element with the help of the indexes. Very straightforward and simple thing. Now converting a list into a vector. So assume that we have a list, but that list I wanted to convert it into a vector. What is the difference between list and vector? Vector is homogeneous data structure, list is a heterogeneous data structure. Okay. So we have a function called the unlist, and if you pass the list to this function, the list is going to be converted it into a vector, a homogeneous type. And here in our case, a list 3 is passed to the unlist, and that is stored in a variable called the vec3, and the output is going to be in this manner. Here the first item was the vector, and that vector values are 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are converted it into one data type called the string, and the second item was a character vector. This is also converted to character 1, and this is another list. Actually that list is also opened and converted into vector, and ultimately all these are kept it into a single vector. It's a straightforward thing, an interesting thing. So with this unlist, we can able to convert a list to a vector. R comes with some predefined vectors. These are going to be useful when we are doing some programming. Those are the letters and capital letters. So we need not to create again the small alphabet and capital alphabet character vectors. already predefined letters and capital letters, and months dot abbreviations. ABB stand for the abbreviations. The output is going to be in this format: January, February, March, April, May, and we are going to have a full form of this also. If you see, to check that what is the type of that, is it vector or is it list, we have tested that. So the month dot ABB is not a list, it's giving false, it's not a list, it is a vector, because is vector has given true. That's going to give us the abbreviations of the months. And month full names: Jan, February, March, April, May, June, July. Previously we have seen abbreviations J, only 3 letters. Now here we have the full names. When it comes to the summary part, what are the things we have learnt in this session? We have learnt how to create a list. First thing, to create a list, we have a function called the list, and we have learned the definition of the list. That is a heterogeneous data types, we can put it into a single unit, and accessing the elements from the list using indexing. Here we have to remember 2 things. One is single bracket and double bracket. In this one we are going to use the index values. If I use the single bracket, the items are going to be represented as a list item. When you use the double brackets, the items are represented as independent items. And vector conversion, we have a function called the unlist, and adding and deleting the elements from the list. Here we have to remember the keyword called the capital null. By using this one we can delete an element, and with the help of the indexing. So this is how we have learnt the lists.